Lyra of Selenar was known for many things, but most of all, she was known for talking. And talking. And talking even more. She talked when she felt excited. She talked when she felt nervous. And sometimes she talked simply because silence felt too big for her. On her homeworld, speech was considered a great skill. The Selenar people believed that a person's value was shown best through words. The stronger the speaker, the more respect they earned. And Lyra, without question, was the strongest speaker in her class. Her teachers admired her confidence, but her classmates often felt tired after listening to her. Sometimes, when Lyra started one of her long speeches, a few students quietly wished for a moment of silence, but they never said anything. After all, speech was pride. Silence was seen as weakness. Lyra did not mean to overwhelm anyone. She only wanted to share everything she knew, everything she saw, everything she felt, and sometimes even things she imagined. Her mind moved fast, and her voice tried to keep up. One morning, as the twin suns of Selenar rose over the glowing silver trees, Lyra hurried into her learning hall, speaking before the door had fully opened. "Good morning, Teacher Serene. Did you know today is the day the human visitor arrives? I prepared 3 welcome speeches, one formal, one friendly, and one with jokes. I don't know which one humans like, but I am ready for anything." Teacher Serene smiled kindly. "Good morning, Lyra. Please take your seat. The class has not yet begun." "Oh, yes, of course, I will, after I tell you something. I studied Earth languages last night. Humans have many ways to greet each other. There is hello, hi, hey, and even what's up. What does what's up mean? Should I ask it? Humans are so interesting." "Lyra," the teacher interrupted softly. "Sit." Lyra's eyes widened. "Yes, teacher." She hurried to her place and tried to sit still, though her feet tapped the floor with excitement. Today was important. Today, the Academy of Interworld Culture was welcoming a human researcher. His name was Eli Rowan, and he worked with a group studying communication between different species. He was young compared to most researchers, only in his mid-20s, but humans developed quickly. And humans, unlike the Selenar, were known for expressive faces, unusual gestures, and emotional speech patterns. The entire academy was curious, but no one was as excited as Lyra. Finally, Teacher Serene announced, "Students, today we begin a cultural exchange program. You have studied the human species in books. Now you will meet one in person. Lyra, you were chosen to welcome him." Lyra's heart jumped like a crystal bird. Chosen. She was chosen because she was the best speaker. She felt her chest fill with pride. The teacher continued, "Please remember, humans may communicate differently. They may not speak as much as we do." Lyra nodded politely, but inside she thought, "Of course they speak. Everyone speaks. How else can someone communicate?" To her, the idea of someone using fewer words was strange. Almost unbelievable. When class ended, Lyra rushed to the visitor hall, where the human was expected to arrive. She stood in the center of the room, holding her 3 welcome speeches on glowing screens. She rehearsed them again and again, moving her lips silently. She wanted everything to be perfect. After all, humans came from far away, from a planet full of diversity and noise. She assumed they loved long conversations. The hall door opened. Eli Rowan stepped inside. He was simple in appearance, dark brown hair, light skin, and eyes that held an easy warmth. He wore a compact device on his wrist and carried a small bag. When he saw Lyra, he smiled, offering a friendly gesture that humans called a wave. Lyra felt a spark of excitement. She bowed deeply, then began her practiced speech. "Greetings, Earth visitor Eli Rowan. On behalf of the Academy of Interworld Culture, I welcome you to Selenar. Our planet is honored by your presence. I have prepared information, schedules, and—" She saw Eli open his mouth to respond, but she continued before he got the chance. And I have also prepared 3 versions of this welcome speech in case this one does not fit your cultural expectations. Would you like the long version, the poetic version, or the one with humor? Humans enjoy humor, correct? I have studied Earth jokes. They are strange but interesting. For example, she took a breath, preparing to tell a joke about humans and gravity. But Eli lifted his hand gently. It was not a loud or dramatic gesture. It was small, simple, almost soft. But it stopped her. His smile did not fade as he spoke. Hello, Lyra. Thank you for the warm welcome. I understood everything you said. He paused, something Selenar speakers almost never did. But you don't need to say more right now. I'm already happy to meet you. Lyra blinked. For a moment, she felt her words freeze. No one had ever stopped her speeches before, not with a smile. She tried to understand the situation. Had she done something wrong? She cleared her throat. Oh, I am sorry. Did I speak too much? I thought humans liked communication. Eli chuckled softly. We do. But communication is not only speaking. That sentence confused her more than anything she had ever learned. Not only speaking? What else is there? Eli lifted his hand again, pointing gently to his own face. Humans use expressions, smiles, eye contact, small gestures. Even silence speaks. Silence? Lyra's people used silence only during ceremonies or if they were sick. Silence for communication? That idea felt impossible. Eli continued. I understood your welcome speech the moment you spoke the first few sentences. The rest was very impressive, but you can relax. You don't need to fill every moment with words. Lyra felt her cheeks warm. She was embarrassed, not because Eli corrected her, but because he said it kindly, without judgment. Usually, when she spoke too much, her classmates simply avoided her. No one ever explained why. But this human did. I understand, Lyra said, although she wasn't entirely sure she did. Eli lowered his bag and looked around the hall with curiosity. His eyes held wonder, like a traveler exploring a new world. He approached a glowing blue plant that hummed softly. This is amazing, he whispered. Lyra stepped beside him. That is a lumina plant. It reacts to sound waves. Eli hummed gently, and the plant glowed brighter. He laughed with pure delight, and Lyra felt an unexpected flutter in her chest. Humans were expressive, more than she expected, not through speeches, but through small reactions, smiles, gestures, and even quiet sounds. Her mind spun. Maybe humans did speak a lot, but not only with words. Lyra thought again about Eli's soft smile, his raised hand, his gentle pause. Each action felt meaningful, more meaningful than some of her speeches. She had studied humans for many nights, but this was the first time she realized something important. Humans communicate with their whole presence. Her heart beat faster. This discovery felt big, bigger than anything she learned in her books. Eli, she said quietly, will you teach me how humans communicate? I want to understand. Eli turned toward her with a warm smile. Of course, Lyra, and I would like to learn from you too. I heard Selenar's speech can express emotions humans can't. Lyra's eyes widened with pride. Yes, we have tonal layers. I can show you. He laughed. Then we can teach each other. A feeling grew in Lyra's chest, something new, something bright. She suddenly felt glad that she had been chosen to welcome him, not because she could speak the most, but because she could learn the most. For the first time in her life, Lyra wondered if communication was bigger than speech, and for the first time, she allowed silence to sit between her and another person, even if it felt strange, even if it felt new. Surprisingly, it felt nice. Ethan Ward never imagined his life would change during a normal work shift. He was a quiet man, an engineer who liked simple routines. He enjoyed fixing things, drinking cheap coffee, and watching the news before bed. Nothing about him seemed special. So when he woke up that morning, he put on the same gray shirt, the same old shoes, and left his small apartment with the same calm mood. The only thing different today was the event he had been assigned to help with, the Galactic Exchange Summit, the first event where many alien species would visit Earth together. Ethan was not an ambassador, scientist, or hero. His job was only to monitor translation devices and repair any equipment that stopped working. His supervisor always said, "We just need you in the background, no drama, no attention." And Ethan liked it that way. The summit was held inside the massive Unity Hall near the coast. Its metal roof shined like polished silver, and tall flags of many worlds waved outside. Alien ships floated above the building like colorful birds, some round, some sharp, some glowing softly. Ethan stared at them while walking inside. It felt unreal, like he had stepped into a dream. He had seen aliens before, but never so many kinds at once. His heart beat a little faster, but excitement pushed him forward. Inside Unity Hall, the air smelled like fresh metal and something sweet, almost like flowers. Bright lights reflected off alien armor, jewelry, and technology. Creatures of different shapes moved through the halls. Tall gray diplomats, small fluffy traders, floating metallic drones, and glowing energy beings drifting like mist. Ethan tried not to stare too much. He kept repeating to himself, "I'm only here for the devices. Just stay calm." He reached the main hall where world leaders and alien delegates were already seated. His workstation sat near the back, a small corner filled with screens and tools. Perfect. A place where no one would notice him. Or so he believed. A few minutes later, the lights dimmed, and a soft musical tone echoed across the hall. Everyone grew silent. A new delegation entered. Tall, graceful beings with smooth silver hair and glowing blue eyes. They were the Athari, a powerful and peaceful race known for their intelligence and advanced mental abilities. They moved with elegance, their robes flowing like liquid light. Ethan felt the whole room shift with respect. At the center of the group walked Princess Lysera. She was young, maybe appearing around 20 in human years, yet her presence felt strong, almost electric. Her long white silver hair floated behind her as if touched by wind, even though the air was still. Her skin had a soft, luminescent glow, and her bright blue eyes scanned the hall calmly, as if she could see every detail. Delegates whispered among themselves. The Athari rarely sent royal family members to such events. Princess Lysera's arrival alone was a major diplomatic gesture. Ethan simply stared like everyone else. He had seen pictures of her in reports, but they never captured her real presence. She looked confident, intelligent, and strangely curious, as if she was searching for something. The Athari delegation reached the center stage. The summit director started to welcome them, but before he could finish his sentence, Lysera suddenly stopped walking. Her head turned sharply toward the back of the hall, her glowing eyes locked onto Ethan. He froze. Lysera slowly raised her arm and pointed straight at him. The hall fell silent. Even the floating drones stopped moving. "He," Lysera said with perfect clarity, her voice soft yet commanding, "is my future husband." The director's mouth fell open. Leaders from Earth and alien worlds exchanged shocked looks. Several cameras turned toward Ethan. His heart jumped so hard he almost fell over. "She can't be pointing at me," he thought. "There must be someone behind me." But when he turned around, no one was there. Lysera continued walking forward, her eyes never leaving him. The entire hall stared at Ethan as if he had become the center of the universe. He wanted to hide behind his computer, but it was too late. When she reached him, she stood just a few steps away. Up close, her glow looked even brighter, like starlight on her skin. Ethan gulped. Princess, I think there's a mistake." "There is no mistake. she said calmly. The vision was clear. Vision? Ethan repeated, confused. Lysera turned to the crowd and spoke with a calm authority. In my people's tradition, a vision of bond is rare. It shows a future where two lives join in a way that changes everything. Two souls standing together in a moment that saves many lives. I saw him standing beside me at the center of a great crisis. He protected me. He prevented war. Every alien and human fell silent. Visions from the Athari were famous across the galaxy. They were not jokes. They were predictions. Rare, powerful, and almost always correct. Ethan felt dizzy. He was just an engineer. He had never even been in a fight. The idea of him protecting a princess sounded impossible. Lysera stepped even closer. You are Ethan Ward, engineer, human, unpredictable mind. You possess something that changes outcomes. How do you know my name? Ethan stuttered. I saw it in the vision, she answered simply. And your government's identification badge is not difficult to read. A few people in the hall laughed nervously, but Lysera wasn't smiling. She looked serious, almost urgent. She turned to the human leaders. I request permission to remain close to him for the duration of the summit. His presence is required to keep the future path stable. The hall erupted with questions. Is this an alliance proposal? Is Earth being given a responsibility? Is humanity involved in Athari prophecy? How can one human be part of a diplomatic vision? Ethan felt like sinking into the floor. He wanted to shout, I'm not special, but his voice refused to come out. The summit director tried to restore order. Princess Lysera, are you saying this man is part of a predicted galactic event? Yes, she replied. A threat is coming. I have seen it. And in the moment of danger, Ethan Ward stands beside me, guiding me through decisions that will save thousands. Ethan blinked. Me? I just fix machines. Lysera looked at him with a calm expression. You underestimate your value. Humans possess intuition that my people cannot replicate. You see solutions in moments of chaos. You make choices without hesitation. It is a powerful trait. Ethan opened his mouth to reply, but no words came out. Suddenly, a loud noise echoed across the hall, a warning alarm. Delegates looked around in confusion. Security lights blinked. Technicians began checking equipment. Ethan immediately noticed something wrong with one of the translation panels, the light flickering in a pattern that didn't match any normal malfunction. It's not a glitch, he muttered. Something else is interfering. Lysera heard him instantly. Her gaze sharpened. You see it already? Ethan didn't understand her meaning, but he stepped forward and began scanning the device manually. His fingers moved quickly, checking wires and signals. He didn't think, he just acted. Within seconds, he found the problem, an unknown signal trying to break through the summit's communication system. Someone was trying to hack the main network. Ethan quickly disconnected the channel and stopped the breach before it spread. The alarm slowly faded. Delegates relaxed. The director made an announcement that the issue was handled. Lysera looked at Ethan with a soft, confident smile. The vision begins, she whispered. Ethan felt his stomach twist. This was only the start, and he already sensed his quiet life was gone forever. The safe room felt quiet, almost too quiet. Ethan sat against the wall, trying to calm his shaking hands. Lysera stood near the door, her eyes glowing faintly as she monitored the energy outside. She looked calm, but Ethan noticed a tension in her posture. She was ready to react at any moment. Outside, Unity Hall's alarms echoed through the corridors. Guards ran back and forth searching for more explosive devices. Drones scanned every shadow. The whole building felt like a box of nerves ready to burst. Ethan tried to breathe slowly. He never imagined his life could turn into something like this. He used to worry about broken wires, not alien criminals trying to eliminate him. Ethan, Lysera said gently. You are shaking. Yeah, Ethan replied with a weak laugh. I think that's normal when someone tries to blow you up. Lysera walked toward him and sat beside him on the floor. Fear is a natural signal. It tells the body to prepare. But fear does not control you. You still acted. Ethan rubbed his face. I didn't act. I just panicked and ducked. No, Lysera corrected softly. Your instincts warned you before the device even activated. You sensed danger. Her voice grew calmer. And you trusted that feeling? Ethan didn't respond. He wasn't sure he believed her, but something about her confidence made his breathing slow. Suddenly, the door beeped. Lysera stood up immediately, her hand glowing with energy. Ethan tensed. The door opened, and a group of human security officers rushed in. Their uniforms were torn, and one of them had a cut on his forehead. Princess Lysera, Mr. Ward, the lead officer said quickly. The situation has escalated. Lysera narrowed her eyes. Explain. The officer swallowed hard. We detected several hidden devices around Unity Hall. All of them were planted within the last 24 hours. The Shade Syndicate infiltrated the summit long before we realized. Ethan's mouth went dry. How? There are scanners everywhere. They use disguised tech, the officer said. Shape-shifting materials, zero-signal infiltration. Someone on the inside helped them. Lysera's gaze sharpened. A traitor? The officer nodded. Most likely. Lysera looked at Ethan. The vision warned of this, a shadow moving within the light. Before Ethan could speak, the entire building shook violently. A booming explosion echoed through the hall. Dust fell from the ceiling. Lights flickered. The floor trembled like an earthquake. Ethan grabbed a nearby handle to steady himself. What was that? The officer shouted into his radio. Control! Report! Control! Do you copy? Static answered. Lysera closed her eyes. They hit the main generator. The officer stared at her. How do you know? I can sense the energy drop, she said. We are vulnerable now. Another explosion followed, smaller but closer. The officer made a quick decision. We need to move you both to the central control room. It's the most secure place left. Lysera grabbed Ethan's hand. Stay close. Ethan nodded and followed her through the corridors. Smoke drifted from a distant hallway. Lights flickered overhead. They passed several injured guards being carried on stretchers. It felt like a battlefield. As they moved, Ethan kept noticing strange details. Scorch marks too clean, wires cut too precisely, doors hacked with advanced tools. Whoever attacked them didn't just want chaos. They had a plan. Lysera watched him carefully. You are observing everything. I just notice patterns, Ethan said. That is why you matter, she replied. After several minutes, they reached the central control room, or at least what was left of it. The massive steel door had been blown open. Sparks flew from burnt panels. Inside, several operators lay unconscious, and screens flickered wildly. Ethan felt his chest tighten. We're too late. Lysera stepped inside slowly, her eyes scanning the room. No. Something else is here. A soft humming sound filled the air. Ethan turned toward the center of the room. A small triangular device hovered above the floor, glowing with a pulsing blue core. What is that? Ethan whispered. A Shade Syndicate relay, Lysera said grimly. It is sending coordinates to their fleet. Ethan's eyes widened. They're calling reinforcements? Yes, Lysera said. In minutes the summit will be surrounded. The officer cursed under his breath. We need to destroy it. No, Ethan shouted. If you shoot it, it might release a shock wave. It's linked to the generator lines. Lysera looked at him sharply. You understand its design? Ethan stepped forward cautiously. It's similar to the device from yesterday. Same pattern. Same power signature. I think it's using our own network to boost its signal. Lysera watched him work. Then what must be done? Ethan knelt beside the relay, his hands moving instinctively. It's copying the generator's frequency. If I can disrupt the pattern just a bit, it might shut down. Lysera placed a hand on his shoulder. Then do it. The vision shows you working with me to stop disaster. Ethan looked at the wires, the glowing core, the circuits pulsing like a heartbeat. He took a deep breath. Okay, he whispered. Here goes. His fingers moved quickly, pulling out access panels, adjusting small energy tubes, and rerouting power lines. He felt a strange confidence, like his mind was working on its own. Lysera watched him with focus. Officers guarded the door. A distant explosion shook the room again. Time was running out. Ethan found the control node. This is the key. If I reverse the signal... The relay flashed red and emitted a loud tone. It detected me, Ethan said. Lysera stepped forward, her hands glowing with bright blue energy. I will hold it. She pressed both hands toward the device. A shimmering energy field formed around it, trapping it like a bubble. Ethan worked faster. Sweat rolled down his forehead. The relay buzzed dangerously. Almost done, Lysera's voice strained. Ethan, hurry! The energy bubble flickered. The device pulsed harder. Ethan shouted, now! He pulled one last wire, twisted it, and forced it into a new socket. The relay core flickered, dimmed, and shut down. The room fell silent. Lysera lowered her hands, breathing heavily but smiling. You did it, she said softly. But the moment of relief was short. The screens in the room blinked back to life. A hologram activated automatically. It showed a masked alien figure, face hidden behind shifting shadows. A voice echoed, distorted. Interesting. The human interferes again. Ethan felt a chill run down his spine. Lysera stepped forward. Shade Syndicate leader, show yourself. Your plan has failed. The figure chuckled darkly. Failed? No, Princess. I simply learned something valuable today. The shadowy figure looked directly at Ethan. This human is the variable we did not expect. He changes paths, breaks predictions. That makes him dangerous. Ethan forced himself to speak. Why target Earth? Why start a war? The voice hissed. Chaos brings profit. War brings power. Peace is bad for business. Lysera's eyes glowed with anger. You will not succeed. The masked figure tilted his head. Perhaps not today, but the game is not over. The hologram vanished. Ethan clenched his fists. They're not stopping. Lysera looked at him gently. And neither will we. Before they could leave, alarms blared again. A new voice echoed through the speakers. Warning! Unidentified ships approaching Earth's atmosphere. Large fleet detected. Ethan's heart dropped. The Shade Syndicate had arrived, but Lysera placed her hand on his shoulder. The climax of the vision comes now, she whispered, and you are at the center of it. Ethan nodded slowly. For the first time, he wasn't running. He was ready. The sun was rising over the Horizon Academy base, and a soft golden light touched every building. For the first time since Mira arrived on Earth, the air felt calm. Alex stood on the balcony outside the medical wing, taking a deep breath. He had hardly slept because so much had happened in the last 24 hours. He had faced royal guards, alien political threats, and the shocking truth about Mira's unique gift. Now the biggest moment was coming, the decision that would decide Mira's future, and maybe his own. Inside the medical room, Mira sat on the edge of the bed. Her silver-pink hair reflected the sunlight, giving her an almost magical glow. She looked stronger now. The doctors had cleared her for normal activity, but it was clear her mind was troubled. When Alex entered the room, she raised her head and smiled softly. You came early, Mira said quietly. I couldn't sleep, Alex replied. There's too much to think about. She nodded. For both of us. For a moment, neither of them spoke. There was a gentle silence, not uncomfortable, but filled with emotions neither of them had fully understood yet. Alex finally broke the silence. "Mira, today your people expect you to decide. Are you ready?" Mira looked down at her hands. "I don't know. My father will want me to return. The nobles want me to follow tradition. The council wants me to act like a symbol for peace." She paused. "But none of them asked what I want." "You should choose what makes you happy," Alex said. Her eyes lifted, glowing with a quiet intensity. "And what if what makes me happy is staying here?" Alex froze. He had expected the question, but hearing it out loud felt different. Heavy, real. "That's your decision," he answered carefully. "Not mine. Not anyone else's." Mira looked away again, her voice soft. "If I stay, it will make trouble. If I go, I will feel empty." Alex took a step closer. "We'll handle whatever happens. Together, if that's what you choose." For a moment, her expression softened, filled with warmth. But before she could respond, the door slid open. Captain Reyes walked in with a serious face. "The Interstellar Council ship is in orbit," she announced. "They are waiting for Mira's formal decision." Mira exhaled slowly. "It begins." The Council Hall meeting. 1 hour later, Alex walked beside Mira through the long corridor leading to the holographic council chamber. Dozens of scientists, soldiers, and diplomats whispered as the pair passed. Mira did not seem nervous on the outside, but her hands were slightly shaking. When the chamber doors opened, a large circular room revealed itself. Floating screens projected holograms of alien council members from various planets. All eyes turned toward Mira the moment she entered. "Princess Miraloon of Crescentia," a council representative greeted. "Today you must declare your decision regarding the royal bond." Mira stepped forward, lifting her chin with determination. Before she could speak, a new hologram appeared. Admiral Torin, Mira's royal guardian, with his cold and proud expression. "Princess," he said, "your return is expected. Your people await your presence. Your arranged bond with Lord Kale remains the safest and most balanced political choice." Alex clenched his fists. He didn't like Admiral Torin's tone, but he stayed quiet. Mira's voice was steady. "Admiral Torin, I respect my people. I love my home, but I cannot make a decision based on fear or politics." The council murmured among themselves. The Admiral's eyes narrowed. "Then you already know what you will say." Mira nodded once. "Yes, I know." She turned to face the council fully. "I choose to remain on Earth." The entire chamber erupted in whispers, shocked voices, and flashes of data screens recording her announcement. Admiral Torin spoke sharply. "You are making a dangerous mistake. That human boy is clouding your mind." Mira stepped forward, voice firm. "My mind is clear. My choice is my own. Earth has shown me kindness and respect. I wish to stay here, learn here, and decide my future without pressure." Alex felt something tighten in his chest. Pride. And something deeper. The council leader cleared his throat. "Princess Mira, choosing Earth means stepping away from your royal duties. If you stay, you will lose your title." Mira hesitated, only for a second. "I understand," she said. The leader nodded. "Then your decision is accepted. From this moment, you are no longer bound to Crescentia's royal laws." Admiral Torin looked furious, but the council had spoken. He could do nothing. Mira closed her eyes, finally breathing freely. Alex stepped beside her. "You did it." Her lips curved into a soft smile. "We did." Outside the council chamber. When they left the chamber, Mira suddenly stopped walking. She looked up at Alex with a new expression, relieved, emotional, hopeful. "I am not a princess anymore," she said quietly. "Do you see me differently now?" Alex shook his head. "I never cared about the princess part. I cared about you." Her cheeks warmed. "Then, will you still stay by my side?" "Of course," Alex said without hesitation. "But only if you want me to." Mira laughed softly, a gentle musical sound. "I pointed at you on the first day for a reason. I felt something in you, a kindness, a strength, a future." Alex scratched his head awkwardly. "I didn't really understand that part." She stepped closer, eyes shimmering with a strange, bright emotion. "You will." The celebration that followed. When the decision was announced to the base, everyone was surprised, but supportive. Scientists congratulated Mira. Engineers asked questions about Crescentian technology. Students from the academy were excited to meet her more openly, without fear of breaking royal protocol. Captain Reyes organized a small celebration at sunset. There were lights, music, and food from different cultures. Mira walked through the crowd, smiling and talking to everyone. She seemed truly free. Alex watched her from a distance, feeling peaceful for the first time in days. Eventually, Mira approached him. "Why are you standing alone?" she asked. "I'm just letting you enjoy your new freedom," he said with a smile. She shook her head. "Freedom feels better when shared." They walked together to a quiet part of the garden where soft lamps glowed among the trees. The evening breeze was cool and gentle. Mira looked up at the stars. "For the first time, I can choose my own path. That feels powerful." "It is powerful," Alex agreed. She turned to him slowly. "Alex," he swallowed. "Yeah? There is something I need to say." Her voice was soft but steady. "When I first pointed at you and said you were my future husband, I didn't understand humans. I only followed my instinct." Alex raised an eyebrow. "And now?" "Now," she continued, "I understand choice. I understand feelings. I understand friendship. And maybe more." She looked down shyly. "But I don't want to rush. I want to learn. I want to grow. With you." Alex felt his heart beat faster, not with fear, but with happiness. "Then we'll take it slow. Together." Mira smiled brightly. "Together. A promise for the future." As the night grew darker, the stars above them sparkled. Mira gently pointed toward the sky, her finger tracing the constellations. "That one," she said, "is my home. And this one," she pointed to another, "is yours." She lowered her hand and looked at him. "Maybe one day, those two stars will not feel so far apart." Alex nodded. "Maybe one day, they'll feel like the same sky." Mira's smile widened, peaceful and full of hope. For the first time since she arrived on Earth, she felt truly safe, not because of laws or royal guards, but because she chose her own future. A future that began the moment she pointed at a boy and said, "He's my future husband." But now, it wasn't destiny or tradition. It was a choice. Their choice.